now.
So it's rubbing off on your physical appearances.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, Joe, uh, I have been following my dear friend and brother here, and Partisan. He knows what I'm talking about when I call him Partisan, and
Okay.
I have been following his track record on the social media, and he's one of those Liberians who is doing where he and his wife, not Sayi is the name.
Say yeah.
Say okay, and they are doing phenomena on the home front.
Okay.
They have or they are working towards establishing. Is it a mini mart? Am I right or wrong?
It's a strip mall.
It's a strip mall. Okay,
Okay.
and you just graduated, didn't you? You just got a what, a master's degree or something? Am I right or wrong?
Coming soon. I'm a
Okay,
candidate.
congratulations in advance.
Thank
So
you.
Congratulations.
yeah,
Thank
Joe,
you.
did you say something?
I just congratulated him. That's all.
Okay,
Oh, thank you,
all
sir.
right. Okay, so please, Saya, can you also introduce yourself to us, because I know more about your husband than I know about you. I know you are his better half.
My name is Say Frederick. I've been married to Lionel for 7 years. We've been knowing each other for 9 years, and we got two kids together, a girl
Okay.
and a boy.
Yep.
Great.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, what inspired the both of you to take a leap of faith and become entrepreneurs in an environment where most Liberian thinks that it is very challenging trying to get things done on the home front.
Well, at first, for me, I felt reluctant at first, and when I met Lionel, he was the one that encouraged me
Mm.
to do what we're doing right now. And by him encouraging me, at least I try to encourage other people to do the same thing we are doing, to like go back home and develop something for the other people that work in Liberia to be able to get a job opportunity, because I know a lot of people in Liberia don't have a job, and
Mm-hmm.
they just living from hand to mouth. Sometimes some people don't eat and stuff, so that would encourage other people. Like where I work, I encourage my friends. They're like, "Oh, when you going back, we want to go back with you guys. We want to take our fur coat and we'll go on the farm with you guys. We want to go
Mm.
see Africa and all that stuff." So, I mean, he was the one that really encouraged me. And I'm blessed to have him in my life, being my best friend. He's my backbone.
Yeah.
That is so wonderful, and I'm sure Lana will see it likewise too.
Oh, sure, sure, sure.
And that's why you all were meant to be together, and that's why you've come thus far.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So you all were able to find a niche.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to follow up on your question, what what inspired us? We the project we're working on in Marshall. Initially, we had planned to build our house. It was even before I came to the U.S. about 8 9 years ago. But when we went Marshall, we asked the people like it was nothing. Everything they have to shop is going back to Painesville or Monrovia.
Mm.
And I was like, that's not Marshall is not only like Liberia. Like, why your life will have to depend on a place that is far away. And so we saw the opportunity that was available. That okay, we can make a lot here as work as well as providing for the community. That we can be able to get a return on providing for the community. So we changed our minds from constructing our house. We said, okay, we can put a strip mall here which will provide the basic necessity for the community instead of them having to travel miles and miles to go Monrovia or
Mm.
Painesville to shop.
For that, I applaud and commend the both of you.
That was
Thank
a
you.
smart move,
Putting the people first
Yeah.
right?
before yourselves.
Yeah.
That speaks volume about your character.
Thank you, sir.
It shows that you aren't in this just to make money. You're in
Mhm.
this to make a significant difference in the lives of our fellow countrymen and women on the ground who are downtrodden.
Yes, sir.
And so you
Yeah.
guys are again trailblazer.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you.
And I pray and hope that most Liberians who will watch this podcast will follow your footsteps
Amen.
because of all of the negativity on social media about
Mhm.
what happened in the past, who did what, who didn't do squat,
Yep.
and forgetting to realize that what they see as problems are all opportunities, like
Yep.
what you all have found.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, Joe, go ahead.
So what you guys did, you guys are what they call entrepreneurs because you identify a problem, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You find a solution and you build a business around that solution. So
Yes,
you're
sir.
problem solvers. That's the name of this platform. you, you're problem solvers. And it
Yeah.
also helps that when you're solving a problem, you make some money, right?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
sure.
You guys didn't take a vow of poverty,
Sure.
No.
right? You're not monks or anything. But for the benefit of our listeners, uh, how easy is it to set up a business in Liberia? Because I was looking at the 2020, I think the 2020 or 21 doing global doing business. They always come up with this report and they say it's very terrible in Liberia in terms of trying to set up a business. Was that your experience?
Oh yeah, it was very terrible. Like I was just joking my friend today. He's trying to piggyback on me so we can do a lot of stuff. He said we are the weirdest Africans with these weird minds of doing stuff. And I was
Mm,
telling him, I said, Liberia, in the West, it takes a second to get stuff done. In Liberia, it takes a day. So when we started, initially the land process, getting the land
mm,
was a headache. It required a lot of patience. If you don't have patience, you won't be able to invest in Liberia. It require a lot of patience. And after
mm,
we were able to get through with the land and starting off, dealing with the locals, people being tricky, trying to scheme off your little income. You're trying to help people and still they're trying to harm to
mm.
harm you. So
So
you
was there any duplicity in the land transaction? I mean, did somebody, one person would sell somebody a land and they sell that same land to somebody else? I mean, you guys
no
didn't
the,
experience that,
no
obviously.
no the group out we were the first there.
Hmm.
So we didn't encounter that, but the good part of it is that once we got the land, we started to do something a little bit first. So we didn't go through all the craziness that people had to deal with them, the land being resold. I know my aunt who got hers couple of miles away from me. She got hers sold, and so it's a whole process we have to go through to reclaim it. But ours was pretty good. It's just that our contractor tried to, make some extra money off us. But then
Hmm.
I was quick to kind of grab it, and my sister was very, very helpful in helping us to the level we are today. We completed a foundation in February, and so now we're about to embark on getting onto the first floor of
Okay.
the site. But it didn't it took a couple of years, the resources, the workmanship and everything, the workforce. But we're getting there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to hear.
That is, yeah. Go ahead, Joe. I'm
So,
sorry.
so in the next 5 years, I mean, what do you guys see this project blossoming into?
You wanna say it? You wanna say it? We it's kind of a springboard that we using for now. That's why we named it legacy. Because it's our legacy of what we're starting to do. We hope to replicate it all through the country. because we believe that one part of Liberia is not just Liberia. Liberia is more than Monrovia. So we hope to
Mm.
have it in every major city and town that we can provide services to. But for now, my home county is the host. I got to cheat my wife.
So your home country is what? Monserrato?
On the Mark GB.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Yeah. So my
Okay.
home county is the host, and we hope to go to Grand Bassa or Buchanan someday. And I know I'm split between Margibi, Grand Bassa, and Lofa. So those are my three counties. Also, because I went to school in Cottontown, so Bone County has been adapted into my family as well.
Okay.
Okay. And so I'm reading your professional profile here, and I see you have two startup businesses besides the strip mall.
The other one, the strip mall is one, and then the other one is the farm.
Yes.
The farm, we should have dedicated it in 2019, but as I said, things don't go fast
Mm.
as the other countries are. So we hoping next year, because we are planning to have the farm open and running, because we trying to create work with other people for Liberia bicentennial next year, and so we
Mm.
are hoping that the farm will have been functional at the time to be able to dedicate the bicentennial park. But I think we just have to keep that to for next year for the dedication. We already completed the survey and everything. We should have started doing planting and working on some stuff, but uh the local authorities and some, they still wanted us to do some stuff for them. So we're trying to complete that, and then hopefully by the dry season, something then kick off. Oh,
That's okay, as to say, one day at a time, huh?
yeah.
Yes.
And you have already established your footprint by beginning the construction of the strip mall.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that's huge.
Yes, sir.
So one day at a time.
Yeah.
So my other question is, so how are you guys doing it? Where are you accessing funding from? Are you using your personal savings, or you went a venture capitalist, maybe invested in your or angel investor? Where's the source of your funding?
Yeah.
Our personal saving. Our personal saving. Whatever we
Wow.
work from, we save extra and we
Wow.
send it back home for our project. So basically, we just working and
Mhm.
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
money back home for the project. We don't. We're not taking loan for nobody or borrowing money for nobody. Just
Mhm.
working and saving
Wow.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Joe, is there something you wanted to say before I
Well, my
move
next
on?
question was, at times when it gets real big and you say, my God, we're looking at expanding to 15 counties, and you might look at, say, form some sort of partnership. I mean, have you ever thought about that?
Um.
Or you just want to grow organically?
Hopefully, what we're thinking about is growing it organically for the time being, and then once we have had the leverage that we have, because if we're trying to incorporate, like forming a partnership, we want someone like with the same mindset that we have towards our business, and have the same attitude, so
Mm,
that we don't have to conflict
Yes.
of interest. But
mm.
for now, we're just thinking about growing it organically and nurturing it in a way that we want it, and then eventually we can expand.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead, Chris.
Well, I have to say this to you all. When you come on the Problem Solver Podcast Forum, we are here to help you solve problems.
Yes.
Now, again, I commend you all for your tenacity and your decision to do this all alone. However, what we would like to see, Joe and I, is for Liberian startup businesses like yours to partners with those, as you said, who are like-minded
Okay.
to grow your business. That's what we are here for. We'll give you the option, we'll give you the information, and you make the determination if you
Okay.
want to partner with somebody who has a little bit more funding and share your passion and the same mindset, because that's the only way we Liberians will be able to fully participate in the private sector.
Sure.
We
Sure.
cannot go it alone. We must do this collectively.
Yeah.
Individualism has not helped us at all,
Mm-hmm.
because when we go on the ground to do what you are doing, we have expatriates on the home front who have deep pockets,
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
and they all work together to disenfranchise us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we must be prepared
Right.
to meet the challenges.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we'll give you the option. This is your baby. You started it.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be there to help you all grow your businesses.
Yes, sir.
That would be awesome.
That would be
Okay.
nice.
What
Yeah.
most Liberians on social media focus on is politics. You got to have money to talk politics.
Oh yeah, sure.
If you don't have money, forget it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The politicians on the ground have the money.
Mm-hmm.
Expatriate businesses have the money.
Yeah.
So we have to be prepared to compete with them and overcome whatever hurdles they put in our way.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
So that's why I have been watching you, Lionel, and I said, this is one brother I want to get to know very well.
Wait.
Maybe knowing him, I can grow up too.
Chris, you say like the Nigerian, I see you. I see you. Oh God, I see you.
Yes, okay. All right,
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah,
let me not, yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
let me not dominate the conversation.
Yeah.
You know, I get very passionate about this, so I'll let you go ahead and see what you have to say.
No, I was saying when you say you've been watching him,
Mhm.
it's like Nigerian.
Yeah,
That's when I see you, King.
yeah.
But when you got a situation in
Mhm.
Liberia, like we had somebody on the last time, and he should know he deals with data, and he was once Deputy Minister of Commerce. He said 90%
Yep.
of our economy is dominated by foreigners.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see young people like you,
Yes.
or like you two, trying to at least make an impact
Yeah.
as entrepreneurs, because that's what we actually need in Liberia. If you get a
Yes.
lot of Liberians into business,
Mm-hmm.
politics would just be,
Yeah.
side, people wouldn't really care, because the business you guys setting up, I'm sure you will employ Liberians,
Oh
right?
yeah, sure.
The
You're
Liberians
better, else I'm going to be mad with you all.
Yeah.
Right. The Liberians you employ, they will be paying taxes to the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You as a business owner paying taxes to the government. So that's why
Yeah.
it's very critical that the government itself comes in and sometimes help small businesses, like yours, and they can do that by doing by giving out bank guarantees. They don't have to partner with you, but they can say this business is going somewhere. We see it scaling. We see it being a repeatable business. So how much you think you need to get to the next level in terms of expansion in the various counties? You tell them and say, okay, we will go to XYZ Bank and we will be your guarantor. The United States of America, all these companies like Microsoft, Facebook, Cisco Systems, Apple Computers, how you think they got to where they are?
Yeah.
The U.S. government.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The U.S. government came and said, this thing look like going somewhere.
Yeah.
We will help you out. The last time, I don't know if you guys were around yet, 2008, when we had the economic collapse because of the housing scandal and craziness.
Yeah.
There were some banks that the American government came and said, these banks cannot fail. You remember that? Too big to fail.
Yeah.
They gave them billions of dollars. The auto industry
Automobile industry. Yep.
was about to collapse.
Yep.
Ford was about to go down.
Yep.
GMC, they went in there and they pumped billions of dollars. They said, we cannot allow these guys, because the whole economy will crater. Because these people, they pay taxes to us. They've got thousands of employees that pay taxes to us, and we let them go out of business. We'll collapse.
Yeah.
China will laugh at us. But it helps to have people in government in Liberia that have that entrepreneurial thinking and look at the long game.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, let me not dominate this. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, most Liberians do not. Well, most Liberian. Let me rephrase this. Most Liberians are unfamiliar with the Liberianization policy.
Right.
It was enacted during the 70s when the late President Talbot wanted Liberians to participate in the private sector. So your line of business falls under the Liberianization policy. There are about 20 or more listed companies that were specifically designated for Liberians to start up. Not foreigners, Liberians. Those companies were set aside specifically for Liberians, small to medium-sized businesses like yours, for the government to support Liberians to get involved in the private sector. But that policy has been swept under the rug. And I would not go into details why, but I know why. So the Liberianization policy goes back to what Joe just said. When the Obama administration decided to bail out the banks, even though the banks were responsible for the economic downturn, but he could not let those banks fail along with the automobile industry.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what the Liberianization policy is about. Most politicians don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But it is there to protect Liberians. Therefore, as I said earlier, I will help you all link up with like-minded Liberians who have the same determinations that you have shared.
We appreciate it. We
To
appreciate
work
it.
together and take control of that private sector
Yes.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
from the hands of parasitic foreign business expatriates, okay?
Sure. Sure.
There's another issue here that most Liberian in diaspora have come to the perception that most of our brothers and sisters on the home front are damaged in terms of trying to do business with them. I've been burned many times. I was burned recently, but it has not deterred me from fulfilling my passion to do what you and your wife are doing to help make a significant difference in the lives of our fellow countrymen. Once you find people on the ground like your sister, I think you mentioned your sister earlier, who helped you all.
Yes.
Those are the kind of people. There may not be many, there are few of them. But out of few, we get many.
Yes.
So those are the kind of people we need to confide in to help us.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Joe?
Yeah. I mean, like what you were saying, the problem with Liberia, like what Chris said previously, what we see as a problem or an obstacle, within those obstacles, you can extract opportunity. That's how this whole concept of problem solving comes about. But that said, Sometimes we got the opportunity right before us, and we can't see it. We can't connect the dots.
Yeah.
Like the last time I was reading, when this COVID-19 was in full bloom, that there was a shortage of gloves, latex gloves globally.
Yes, it was.
What did make latex gloves from? It come from rubber. Okay, what country in the world is supposed to be one of the largest? I mean, we got millions of acres of rubber. We got the Liberian Rubber Association. That's how they call themselves.
The Liberian Broker Robert Association, something like that.
Okay. Now, if those guys could connect the dots, which Chris told me that, they're working on some contingency and set up a manufacturing facility. You know how many millionaires there will be?
Yeah.
Because this shortage, it hits the hospitals throughout Europe. It hit the hospitals throughout China. Hit the hospitals. The people that wrote the article, they were talking about a shortage in the United States, but that shortage is global. And the first thing, if you tell them that, say, why don't you guys get together, form yourself, because everybody want to be individual. Say, let's forget about this individualism. Let's come together as a collective. Set up a manufacturing facility. The person that will say, access to finance. The world, as we speak, is saturated with finance sources nowadays. Even like Europe. The European Union, the OPEC in the United States, and there's a guy that even wrote a book on it. And in that book, he was pretty much telling entrepreneurs, these are the opportunities in Africa. Sometimes you don't go directly to government. Don't make a straight path to government. Government can be a problem. You go behind government. All those, like the European Union, USAID, and all that, they all there because they want to help Liberia solve its problem in terms of poverty. So if you got a good business plan and you go and sit down and tell them your vision, they will finance you. They would direct you, say, look, here's how you can finance this thing. Sometimes it takes a phone call. There's Samantha Powell. Recently, Biden appointed her to USAID. She'll be heading USAID. When I read about her appointment, what she said about, poverty, fighting poverty, and all that sort of stuff, trying to reduce joblessness, because unemployment and joblessness in a lot of these developing countries, that will lead to insurrection, and destabilization, and instability. She said that will be high on our agenda. So that's the sort of person, try to get in touch, People in Liberia will be seeing this podcast as well. That's what we need to do. And I always tell a story about a buddy of mine who, he was an engineer here and he went to Liberia. And they had all these biddings they used to do. When he bid, they turned him down. This guy was working with some of the top engineering companies in the United States, in California. Bechtel, he was a senior project manager. Then he go to Liberia. You want to say, why you don't qualify? So he got that. They wanted him to pay, they wanted him to bribe them, but he's not the person. He's not the type to do that. To bribe. So he's an American citizen, Liberian American citizen. He went straight to the U.S. Embassy. And he carried his portfolio. He carried his, his qualifications and all that. The embassy told him, say, you know what? Forget the Liberian government. Say, you will be dealing direct. In fact, we're building our embassy. This is during Ellen Johnson's lifetime. She had just become president. But everybody, in a state of dysfunction. So the embassy told him, said, we're building an embassy. You are one of the project manager. Yeah.
Wow.
He said, don't worry about it. So Liberia is in a building mode. We've got a lot of countries and companies coming here, but they come directly to us. You will pick what project you want to work on.
Wow.
And that boy became rich.
Wow.
Yeah, he became rich. So sometimes government is not the solution. Government can be the problem.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
And I'm
I'm
not
waiting.
picking on any specific government because government just don't move as fast as you want it to.
Sure.
Even in the United States here, sometimes the government is slow. And that's
Yeah.
why Tony Blair, the former UK Prime Minister, said it. He said, if you want anything, if you want to get anything done, don't go to government. Yeah, the private sector.
Yeah.
Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, it is the private sector that drives the economy, not the public sector. But the mindset everybody have in Liberia is to work for the public sector and get rich quick.
Yeah.
Short-term gains and not long-term.
Yeah.
Forgetting to know that with the private sector, there is more to offer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I would like to ask the both of you, what advice will you give to those Liberians here in on the home front who will be watching this podcast in terms of finding Liberians on the ground who are like-minded, like you all have been fortunate to do, to help them get started like you have done?
So, what I would suggest to them is one is go home first and create the connection with people. There are people out there who are honestly looking for work, looking to do stuff. Like my sister, because I'm connected to her through blood, so that's Papa. I have a bigger team of people who I'm not related to, and they are way more out there, very, very awesome as well. So the guy who has our farm project, he's a high school friend as well, and the other dude who's helping my sister, we were friends in elementary and stuff. And there are other people who joined the team who we just kind of met. Either my sister introduced them to me, or we some kind of way met when I went back home. But first, you have to create a connection and know the person that you kind of linking up with, and then you'll be able to find out who is right and who is just into to rub it, because people, they say character is like, it's like an order. It doesn't hide. So you will still find people who are very, there are a lot of Liberians who are trustworthy, but it's just that the connection that will spark that kind of person is what you can be in America and be able to find people in Liberia. That won't work. You have to just go back. It's like I would say kind of scouting talents. That's the hunt you have to go on to scout talents.
So I was, based on what you have just said, going on the ground, you have to first find a niche like you
Yeah,
have found,
yeah,
and then looking for credible individuals who share your mindset
yeah,
to get started.
yeah,
Am I
yeah.
right or wrong?
Oh, you're right.
You're right.
You're right.
Okay. The reason why I asked you that questions because there have been Liberians, even me, who have been on the ground to try and get things done, and we got involved with the wrong people.
Mhm.
And because we got involved with the wrong people, some of us got discouraged. You are familiar with the saying, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes.
So that's the perception most of us in the diaspora have. Oh, I'm done with that country.
I know,
I
I
know,
know.
right?
Okay. Failing to realize those problems are opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Those experiences are learning process for you
Yeah,
to grow up and do things differently than what you did before.
sure. Mm-hmm.
Learning from failure.
learning from failure.
Yeah.
Failure is a good thing,
Sure.
Yeah.
but that's what most of us don't want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to deal with failure. We just think things going to be fine once you go out there and try to make it happen. No, you have to fall down and get up,
Yeah.
because it is from falling down and getting up that will make you an experienced person
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
and better at what you do down the
Mm-hmm.
road.
Yeah.
So again, I'm really happy for the both of you. You're young. You know, our previous guests were just on here last Sunday. You guys falls in that category too, because they took a leap of faith.
Yeah.
Now, Joe showed you all those latex gloves earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of business they're doing. PPE.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if you saw the video line that I sent it
Yeah.
to you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I went through.
Yeah.
I didn't complete the end, but
Yeah.
I went through a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys, to me, are trailblazers. While
Thank
there's
you.
all the noise going on in the marketplace, you guys are see you're continue to make the noise. We're going after the opportunity that you guys see to be problems.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
finding a niche, credible people on the ground, and doing away with this thing of individualism, I can go it alone, is not going to work on the ground.
Sure.
Yeah.
The next thing is establishing a regional plan, because what is needed in Liberia is also needed in Sierra Leone, in Guinea.
Mm-hmm.
So once you guys succeed in Liberia, then you can begin to look at the Mana River Union.
Yeah.
You see the
It's like
opportunities? You see the opportunities?
it's
And
like
people
you
are sitting there around here going to 9 to 5 job, complaining every day how
it's like you
bad
reading
things
my
are.
mind.
When the opportunities are right there in front of their faces, but they don't want to deal with it because of all the negativity on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Please, Joe, go ahead. Maybe Frederick or your better half might have something you want to see too. Don't let me dominate the conversation, please.
Because what you guys are doing, that's pretty much like the platform. And you can use that as a springboard to get into to other industries. You know,
Mm-hmm.
once you scale the business and you say, maybe let's look into some other industry. Maybe we want to get into cocoa farming, or how do they call it?
Palm oil.
Cashew farming,
Yeah.
palm oil, and that sort of stuff. But most people, most Liberians don't know the smartest way to get into those things is you don't go and grow the thing yourself. Because you got
Mm-hmm.
almost all over Liberia that are growing, cashew, that growing
Exactly so.
cocoa,
Exactly so.
Mm-hmm.
you bring them all together and you buy the stuff at a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Because your market, Europe, your market, the United States,
Mm-hmm.
China, and all these countries, they've got fair trade, and they've got advocacy groups within all those, the United States, within the UK,
Mm-hmm.
to actually sell your stuff. Because why? From Liberia is a post-conflict nation. So in one area, being a post-conflict nation, it has its advantages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because people, they're there to help businesses. Because they be, like I said before, people like Samantha Power, they believe in the fact that entrepreneurship, okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
what gonna take Liberia out of poverty.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the best poverty reduction out there.
Yep.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are countries willing, but only thing, the information is not there. That's why before we came on, Chris and I were talking about it. is to have a seminar in Liberia. And in that seminar, it will be, coordination with the Liberian Chamber of Commerce and the business community to give people these sort of information. Like most Liberians don't even know that they've got all these funding agencies that willing to give. There are some Liberians now that have gotten money from, say, the IFC, which is the World Bank arm that finance small businesses. They've got money from them. I was looking at the list. I went to the IFC and I saw all these Liberians. I said, and those are people you don't hear them say, "Oh, what politics?"
Wow.
They're there. They got millions of dollars, but they're silent. I went to OPIC, the American Overseas Private Investment Corporation. Just last year, they gave a Liberian business $20 million.
Wow.
US. And his job is, because he claims that he has a bank, and that bank is supposed to help provide assistance and train SME. And that's what they gave him that money for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the U.S. government doesn't stop there. The U.S. government got AGOA, the African Growth and Opportunity Act, where if you are Liberian and say you got a towel or whatever product you have, you want to ship to the United States, there's no duty. If you go to the AGOA website, all the other African, they're balling. Liberia absent.
Wow.
The smart entrepreneurs in those countries, you know what they're doing?
No.
They go to China. They go to Taiwan. You bring your manufacturing, your textile manufacturing to us. You bring it to small Swaziland. Bring it to Nigeria, Ghana. And when you stem those clothes, those textile, whatever clothes they make, and you send it to the United States, you got made in Liberia. Made in Liberia will have priority.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some of the things I think it's just mission critical that there be some meeting of all the entrepreneurs, with the Chamber of Commerce, business thought leaders here. Get together at the Monrovia City Hall, make it 3 days or maybe 1 week, and put them through this training process.
Yeah.
But a few people that know this that benefit in Liberia. Yeah. Few of them know all this stuff.
Yeah,
When Nigeria Liberian business say, "Oh, well, our problem is access to capital." I said, "Access to capital? Access to capital with the hundreds of capital sources globally that are willing to help a post-conflict nation. But they can't come to you. You got to come to them.
Yeah.
They don't know you. You come to them. Then, you go on LinkedIn. I don't know. I show everybody you're on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, I'm on there.
Okay, you go on LinkedIn. My business, I've got the paid LinkedIn. So I got access to pretty much everybody. But if you go on LinkedIn and you put in entrepreneurs, or you put in whatever, that you want that entrepreneur, a search string, you'll be amazed. I got in touch with what his name, but he was like the VP of IFC, the International Finance Company, because we're trying to set up a flower factory, selling roses and all that, exporting roses to the European and American market. And I got in touch with him. He said, "Talk to our country director. That's the sort of ideas we want. We are an ideas company. Talk to our country director, and he will help you get this thing off the ground." And of course, COVID came and just collapsed everything.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. But that's how happy he was that I got in touch with him.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they want to see Liberia and all the other post-conflict nation. They want everybody to be like Rwanda,
yeah.
Yeah.
where you post-conflict, but you're on a different trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And as entrepreneurship, that's one of the main things that driving, driving Rwanda, entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
innovation,
And innovation. Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah.
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 Mr. Jackson,
Yeah.
we got 4 more minutes. We can't keep
Yeah.
Mrs. Fredericks.
So I just want to say this. Joe, based on what you have just explained in terms of having access to capital
Mhm.
uh, to start and grow your business, I believe the Fredericks fall within that category for the fact that they took a leap of faith and invested the hard-earned money. So what you all need to do now is to take your business idea. You already have, Joe, what you call that SWOT. You've already done
So
the
the
SWOT.
SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and that's,
Yeah, and put that.
in other words, you did a business plan already, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So you need to begin to access the funding through those agencies that Joe just talked about. For the
Okay.
fact that most of those funding aspect has to do with employment opportunities. That's what you guys are doing. You're
Yeah.
going to be providing employment for the unemployed to empower them to
Mm-hmm.
be
Yeah.
able to take care of they and their families. That's the top priority of all of those fundings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I say that to say I know of some people who I can refer you all to
Okay.
that might be able to help you out. For example, like AGOA, the one Joe mentioned earlier, the African Growth Opportunity Act. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of Liberians are not taking advantage of AGOA.
Wow.
It is there to help countries like Liberia, war-torn countries, to grow their economy from the private sector. So we have the solution. Unfortunately, most of our brothers and sisters on the ground, they are mostly focused on trying to survive for today and not
Yeah.
tomorrow, where
Mm-hmm.
there is long-term gain.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got to try and change that mindset. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
It has been a pleasure speaking with the both of you. And again, I applaud and commend you for making the sacrifices that you have made to start something. Now, one thing I forgot, Joe, quickly. What kind of farm do you all have in the pipeline? Is it going to be rice farm, palm oil, rubber, or what?
So what we did was our manager, we trying to our mindset is providing answer to the opportunities in Liberia. So um we went to these stores and supermarkets or these vegetable farm and markets in Liberia and asked them what they usually import into the country
There you
that we
go.
can
Yeah.
grow instead of them taking the money out. We can just grow it and deliver it to them. So my thesis that I'm developing is an app that's going to be like an Amazon for agriculture where farmers can be able to sell and buy on the app and have their stuff distributed not only in Liberia, we're looking to Africa and across the world. So
Wow.
the
Yeah.
report, my manager should be done with the report by next week. So we know all the different crops that people import that we can be able to grow and then have it to them.
If you do it right, that could be a breakthrough app. Because
Absolutely.
I always say this company called Uber.
Mm-hmm.
You guys take Uber at times.
Oh yeah, I use
That's a
it.
second
I use
job.
it too.
That's a second.
Okay,
Yeah.
those guys that came together and founded Uber. Uber doesn't own any cars.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it was just ideas. That's what somebody said. The ideas are the currency of the
Yeah.
21st century.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
The people that
Yes.
came out with Airbnb,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
what they doing? Other people house they're using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's connect the dots there. It all comes from the apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to do Uber, you gotta go and use the app.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do Airbnb, you gotta use the app, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a smart idea
Yeah. Right there.
that you're
You
coming up
see?
with. If you do it
Yeah.
right, that
Yeah.
could just
It
be
doesn't take a rocket scientist to be creative and innovative. That's what the 21st century economy is built around.
idea,
Creativity and innovation.
right?
Yeah.
And you have that. Just like our previous guest, he has a similar situation like yours.
Right?
So
Yeah.
that's what it would take.
Yeah.
Creativity
So
and
Fredericks,
innovation, thinking ahead of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
let me just say something quick.
Yeah.
In Cinco, where I grew up, just next to our house was there was a guy called Ashimo Fredericks. You guys related?
No, I think they said his Frederick is from Ghana. Oh, my Fredericks came from across the Atlantic.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. Yeah, the Ghanaian people like that name, Fredericks.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you've been asked that question before.
Oh yeah,
So,
sure, a
So
lot.
many
A lot.
times. Facebook and everything.
okay, Mr. and Mrs. Fredericks.
Yes.
Any parting shots you want to take?
Go ahead. You go first.
No, you go.
Oh, okay.
And
I'll
and
just
and
Well,
any advice for all those who are out there that are skeptical about what you're doing? You already said something about it, but you need to share some closing thoughts with them to inspire them.
okay. So what we're doing, our mindset is providing answers to problems because I can tell you we can talk all the talks that we want to. Once we don't provide answers to the people's situation, is that we just nothing. And when I came to the US, I got to link myself with like-minded people. My friend asked me, he said, "Oh, you going to college, right? What you want to do after college? What you gonna do with the paper?" And I and the answer I gave him was, "I'm not getting the paper just to have it on the wall. I want to use it in a way that when I'm gone, people can say this is what he used to change the world." And so that is the mindset we have with our business, that although we're gonna benefit too, but we want the Liberian people in Africa and the world at large to benefit from our ideas um and our expertise as well. So our businesses and whatever we endeavor in is we try to make it like a revolution to change what was not done before and make a difference.
Good,
Good.
good. There, you see, quickly, there's a difference between having a degree, your gifts, and your passion.
Yeah,
yeah.
Your gifts and your passion is what matters the most.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of educated people out there who aren't doing what you are now doing. Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
No, thank you. We appreciate it.
And so do we to come on the Problem Solver Podcast Forum
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
to
And
Pleasure
we look
share.
having
forward to the connection.
Uh,
Thank you.
We look forward to the connection, the
absolutely.
partnership.
That's what this is about. We don't just want to come on here and talk.
Yeah,
We want to act.
yeah.
Thank you.
What is that saying back home? I don't want to use any profanity, but it said what? Money talks and BF what?
Well,
Yeah, well, okay. So Mrs. Frederick, you got any
Yes.
parting thoughts?
Well, for me, I just want to thank you guys for putting us on the show today. And I want to encourage my fellow friends and African American, not just Liberians, because I got a lot of African American people that I work with, Spanish, like different people that every time they would ask me and tell me, "Oh, you say you're doing a business, you building back home. When you planning to retire?" I said, "Where I'm working right now, I'm not planning to work forever. I'm
Right.
planning to work
Right.
and go back home. That's why I'm going to retire. If you see me back in America, I come for vacation.
There you
There you
go.
go.
So I'm coming for vacation. I'm not coming to work. So I mean, I'm trying to encourage my fellow workers to try to develop not just even in Liberia, but whatever country they are from, try
Right.
to develop there to help other people to get that same opportunity they have to get a job, to be able to support their family. And I also want to give a shout out to my partners,
Yeah.
Sarah's and Rufus. They are, I don't even know them from anywhere. I got to know them through my husband, and they are so faithful. They are trustworthy. I mean, everything they do for us, like they send all the messages, the information, receipts, everything, every money they spend, they will send all the receipts to let details.
Wow.
They will send all the details to let us know how much they spend, where they spend it on. They will take pictures of the material.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I am so grateful.
Wow.
Very good.
And I want to
Wow.
say
Very good.
thank you to my
Very good. Yeah.
sister-in-law,
Yeah.
Sylvia.
Yeah.
Man, she is so helpful. She was the one that was there from the beginning,
Yeah.
and we in the middle. And I mean, I'm happy. I mean, and sometimes I can't even trust people that I
Yeah.
got back home that I know that I can
Yeah.
say I will send money to them to help me out. No,
Yeah.
somebody that don't know me from anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
You.
do it for
Yeah.
me. I was shocked. Whenever we send money, I'm like, babe, you seriously? The person gonna be able to do this? Because I've been hearing a lot of news from Liberia people. You send money, they eat your money, or they don't
Yeah.
pay for nothing. When people selling land from land to land, sell your land to a different person, like 50 people buy that same land. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Well, you all were divinely predestined to be together. You have good hearts. You're
yeah,
soulmates. And that is why those people have gravitated to you all with the same mindset
yeah,
to help be a blessing to your fellow countrymen.
yes,
Amen.
sir.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
we applaud and commend you all for being the trailblazers that you all are.
Mhm.
And we wish you all continued success.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank
Thank you
you,
so
thank
much.
you. We appreciate
We
it.
appreciate
All
it.
right.
You're welcome. It
Thanks.
has been a pleasure. Thank
Uh,
you
Okay,
All
so
sir.
right.
much.
thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay. Good
Okay.
night.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.